Solving literal equations. This sheet that is in front of you is glued into your composition book on page 16. So in case you need to refer back to instructions, you have 2 sheets worth of how to isolate a variable when you have more than one variable. We did some practice problems in class, and this is what your homework looks like. You have 6 problems. I will do this one for you and this one. That's what we're looking at for the video. Just a reminder, you can always go to Gmail and type in your @student.fsisd.net email, and you can access your textbook online. Okay. Your textbook, you watched a video over how to solve a literal equation. So just a reminder that there's 2 other resources besides this video that can help you out. Okay, so let's look at this one right here. We need to solve for pi when we have an equation that looks like d equals c divided by pi. So I'm going to use my highlighter to highlight what I'm looking for so that I don't forget. I know that I'm going to isolate pi. And I'm going to rewrite it down below, d equals c divided by pi. And then I will highlight pi once again. That's what we need to isolate. And I know that when we practiced in class, we said that we weren't going to move it. But since it's in the denominator, we need to figure out a way to put it in the numerator. And in order to do that, I'm going to multiply by pi on the left side. Now, why would I multiply? I'm multiplying because you see that c is being divided by pi. If you use your inverse operation, remember inverse operation is opposite. So if it's divided, you're going to multiply by pi. If you multiply by pi on the right, you'll multiply by pi on the left. Okay, you can see that that cancels, and now my pi is in the numerator. It's no longer in a fraction. So I'm going to write d pi. Okay, it doesn't matter that I wrote it backwards, because if you remember in class, 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And what if I flip it 3 times 2? That's equal to 6 as well. And we're able to do that by a property that we've learned, and it's commutative property of multiplication. And that's in your vocabulary words as well. Okay, so right here we have d pi is equal to c. Again, I'm going to highlight my pi because that's what I'm isolating. We can't forget what we're looking for. We're looking for our pi. And because it's in the numerator, it's easy to divide by d. Okay, once I divide by d on both sides, I'm left with pi by itself, which gives me c divided by d. And that is my answer. Okay, and I'll highlight pi to make sure that, yes, I did isolate what they wanted me to isolate. So I solved for pi. Okay, so now we're going to look at solve ax plus by plus c equals 0, and we're solving for y. Okay, so I'm going to highlight my y. We're solving for y. I'll rewrite it. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. I'm going to draw my line down the equal sign, and then I'm going to take out my highlighter to remind me, okay, everything else can go but my y, because that's what I need to isolate. So I'm looking, and there's a couple of things that you can do, and it doesn't matter which one you do first, but I'm going to choose to subtract ax first, okay? Because eventually we're going to have to subtract the c. But right now I'm going to subtract ax, because I know it's a positive, and what I do to one side I must do to the other, so I'm going to subtract ax over here as well. When I do that, I know ax minus ax is 0, and so I'll rewrite everything else the way I see it. By plus c is equal to negative ax. and then I'll highlight my y. Okay, so now I see that something else is in the way. I know that I have a c, so I need to subtract my c. So I'm going to subtract my c. I'm going to put it off to the side because I know they're not like terms. Since they're not like terms, I can't combine them. This cancels, and I'm left with by is equal to negative ax minus c. Okay, so now I need to remember, yikes, this is what I need to solve for, not my b. That helps me decide what I need to get rid of. So I will get rid of my b. Since b is being multiplied by y, my inverse operation of multiplication is division. Remember, inverse means opposite. So opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide this side by b. And I'll divide this side by b. That cancels. And my answer is y is equal to negative ax minus c divided by b. And so we'll write that so we can see that a little bit better. Negative ax minus c all divided by b. And we have isolated that y, and that's exactly what we needed to do. So that's why.